All right, y'all. So Gekishin Squadra did finally drop the Season 2 patch notes. Season 2 does come out within the hour, but we're going to go ahead and cover these. There's actually a lot of changes that we weren't even able to get in my video earlier, such as the Dabura changes, but apparently Super Saiyan Goku got nerfed, Vegeta got adjusted somehow, the Green Divine combo cards also got adjusted. Like, there's a couple of changes here that we didn't know the exact like numbers for, but now we could take a look at it and just see what's going on. So let's really hop right into it, and let me know again what you guys are thinking about the adjustments and changes in general. We'll be just looking over every single one of them. So at the start of Season 2, we will implement balance adjustments and bug fixes, which is, again, really, really good. A lot of characters were changed, though, which I am definitely a fan of. But let's see. So, Full Power Bojack finally got his well-deserved buff. This guy was actually the worst character in the game by far. Now, it might not even be the case. People did testing and said it wasn't really significant, but let's really see here. Skill 1 Galactic Buster. The damage was increased from 423 at level 1, 470 at level 2, and 560 at level 3. Now it's 540 at level 1, 600 at level 2, and 720 at level 3. So it is a pretty dramatic increase. I would say, I mean, we take a look here, his level 1 Galactic Buster does basically the same amount of damage as it did at level 3 pre-buff, which I think is very well deserved because Galactic Buster did literally no damage. This could potentially make it a lot better to secure objectives, well, maybe not objectives, but Kai early on, because Bojack just did so little damage with Galactic Buster. I think this is really going to be a big help. I mean, let me take a look here at the last balance adjustment here. I think update info, like season 1.2, I think is when Piccolo got buffed, or the Gammas. Yeah, with the Gammas, we see, I mean, their skills, again, it's like a lot of characters are still doing more damage, I guess, but it is definitely an improvement for sure. So Cosmic Bloom, the time until the energy blast explodes increased from 3 to 4.5 seconds. I think that's really good because, I mean, a lot of times I feel like I was able to just kind of wait for this to run out. Now it's 4.5 seconds. It is a pretty decently size increase for this to explode on its own. And the time between the end of attack and ability to perform actions were decreased from 1.4 seconds to 1.08 seconds. So essentially this means that he's able to move faster than the he was able to before, after he actually put the skill out. From what I heard, this is faster just in general, and it's, again, his little minefield. In fact, we could literally just bring up Bojack so you guys could see what I'm talking about here, but it's his little mines that he has. They're actually faster now, so I think that's good. And especially because, again, when you use these skills together, it does actually do a decent amount of damage at late game. So I think we might be able to see that more commonly earlier in the match. And this has pretty decent area control, and it could be really useful for defending a God of Destruction tower or trying to, you know, secure bosses, for example, right? So I think that's cool. Now, Saggle Thread, whoa, that's pretty big. A 15% to a 40% movement speed down effect. I think that's pretty massive. 40% movement speed down in skill 3, and again at max level this could be really good, and it does continuous damage on top of that. I mean, that's not bad. And again, you're able to perform actions a lot faster after using this. I mean, these Bojack buffs look promising to me. I have to actually use this guy in the game to really see, but I'm a fan of what it looks like so far. So this is overall W for Bojack. We'll see in game once this guy well, it's already available in game right now, but I'm gonna be streaming tonight. We'll use Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and I think I'm gonna just use a bunch of these characters, get a bunch of videos ready and record it for the rest of the week. But I'm very excited to see what Bojack's able to look like. So Android 17 also got buffed. We did talk about this in an earlier video, but as we see here, his cooldowns just decreased across the board for skill 1 and skill 3. Skill 1 cooldown was decreased from 11 to 8 seconds, which I think is pretty nice. Then the skill 3 Android barrier, 17 to 15 seconds. I think that is also just a nice little adjustment. But the biggest thing is that the duration of the extra HP effect has been increased from 1.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds, and his counter barrier duration of the extra HP increased from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Now, this is really nice too, as it basically will allow you to, it doesn't give extra HP compared to what it is before, but the fact that you will keep the extra HP longer, it's just really, really good to be able to escape situations. And especially against skill 3, you use skill 3, and if you use his passive skill to activate his skill a second time, then you actually do get a decent amount of HP from that. And considering that it lasts nearly 3 seconds, that could be just escaping an entire interaction. Plus you get the movement speed up. I think these are pretty nice buffs for 17 in general. I do like what I'm seeing. I think his biggest issue was that skill 3 didn't really last too long, but now we'll kind of see if this really greatly affects like team fights and things like that. So I'm actually also pretty happy about these 17 buffs. Now, this is what I'm disappointed in. Oob got buffs. I mean, I feel like he didn't need a lot, but they still under-delivered here. Cooldown from 9 to 8 seconds with skill 3. Like, Oob needs secure early on. I think that's Oob's biggest issue. Until he gets his ultimate, he just doesn't have good secure for bosses. And, I mean, with Bojack buff now, Bojack probably has decent secure. Dabura is an exceptional teamfight character. Now, you guys will see. I have a video for that. Oob got nothing. I don't know. Like, Oob might just be one of the weaker characters in terms of DPS in the game right now. Like, we'll see, but I mean, he's definitely like in the bottom half for sure. Unfortunately, it's just other characters will just be better option than this guy, and he's missing like that early game secure, and I think a lot of other characters burst damage will just be better than this guy. That's the unfortunate truth. Oob needed more. He just needed extra damage early on. Like, again, I was talking about it earlier with Annie. I know Annie plays Oob. If this does extra damage, or maybe this did extra damage as well, he just needed something earlier on. More early on damage is what Oob needs, and he just doesn't have it. So Dabura, I mean, I'm just gonna show you guys. Like, I'm gonna bring up my Twitter video. Dabura's change is stupid. He's actually like really good right now. Dabura, oh my goodness, guys. Again, basically his petrification gauge, it increased, right? The build up for enemies with an AoE increase went from 1 to 2 seconds to 1 to 3 seconds. Or it's 1 every 2 seconds. Now it's 1 every 3. I don't know how the word is, but essentially, if you stand still and don't do anything, it used to take about 24 seconds. Now it takes about 12 seconds to build it up. Where you see the clip right here, I started building it up like at 2 seconds in, and it finished by the end of this clip. We see right here, this is a 27-second clip. I entered it around here, and then at the end, it fills up about 25 seconds in. So that's pretty good. So again, you can do some very funny things with Dabura here. So this is like, let's say early game. This is just to show an example of if you grab skill 1 and skill 2 early game, this is what you could do as Dabura. Look how fast it builds up, especially with skill 1. It was pretty much, what, a 5-second interaction? And that's about how long a fight could last. Now, if your enemy vanishes, they do lose that, but it makes them use their vanish, right? There's also the fact that if you time your second skill well, and you save it, Vegeta's not going to be able to vanish through a lot of this right here. See? It only went away at the very end. So if you wait to use this while you're already attacking him, like, the enemy won't be able to vanish out. Then we see right here, this is as if, you know, level 9 Vegeta versus level 8 Dabura. Look how fast I can just build up this gauge, and he couldn't even vanish through most of that. Then I stone spit him, and then I kill him with the skill 2 right here. Bam. He's dead. GG. Dabura's really good now, guys. Wow, that's crazy. He also has movement speed down increase, and he's faster, and the no vanishing step applied has increased. Like, Dabura got that is good buffs for an attacker. Bojack got pretty good buffs for attacker. I would say decent. Oob got nothing, bro. They said, here's the change, here's the rest. We didn't have enough for you, I guess, man. I don't know. Hands up in the air. Divine combo cards were, of course, increased here. So let's take a look here. Build up, all defense up effect increased by 20 to 30. You know, I think this is good because they did buff Dabura by quite a bit. They nerfed Cooler and Caulifla here, But the thing is that they didn't buff any of the other tanks. So what happens is if with Dabura existing and them nerfing the tanks, in general, that means that tanks are kind of in a very scary spot right now. So buffing these green divine combo cards, I think is super, super useful. So it's 2 to 30, just like defense up when you get build up. So that's basically an extra 100 defense, which is essentially another 5 stacks compared to before. So it's like build up level 10 now is what a build up level 15 would have been before. Kind of just putting it simply there, which I think could be pretty significant. Again, we need to try that out and see how tanky a character could be. Steel skin damage reduction increased from 8 to 10. And how, I wish I could see like a description for steel skin. I probably have to open the game itself to actually get a good description here. Let me actually, so again, we see here, it reduces the damage a set amount per hit. So it's every single attack you receive. Now it is 10 instead of 8. This is probably still mid. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Maybe it's good in Caulifla, is what I could see, but I don't think that that's enough. It should be, in my opinion, it should be a percentage, like even like 4% at most or something like that. Like that would make a, I don't know, per hit. I don't know. We used to think steel skin was really good. Maybe with the increased buildup, it could be useful. That's something we just have to wait and see, honestly. It does test it out, I guess. Guardian Angel damage reduction increased from 15 to 20%. So Guardian Angel does essentially reduce damage from allies. 20%, it's nice. I don't think it's crazy though. Like it's just like an okay change. Like we'll take it, right? Again, I think the idea is that you use these together, like build up and Guardian Angel and maybe shield. Now defense step. This looks like a pretty significant increase here to me. Super attack damage reduction increased from 50 to 75% max. That's the same effect as solid barrier. Actually, I'm gonna literally screenshot this. Super attacks, that's literally the same as solid barrier. 1 second, let me tweet this. That's actually pretty good. This might be like late game, especially on a tank. Like this is actually, this is probably gonna be best in slot for many tanks, 100%. I mean, it might even be best in slot for characters in general. Like, I mean, the second vanish is still really good. But sometimes, like, depending on who you're fighting, like if you're fighting Super Saiyan Goku and the Spirit Bomb covers the entire screen, like you're not gonna get out of that in a lot of situations, if the player is good, of course. Having that 75% damage reduction, man, it's just a consistency about it. I like that a lot. And you still have 30% reduction against anything that's not supers. That's good. That's good. Really, really nice. So attack buffs for helpers increased to 130. Movement speed or movement distance push, so like Botamo 5 meters increase. So they increased the Kaba defense buff essentially. So now the defense up effect increased from 200 to 300 defense, and the range increased from 5 to 7.5. So yeah, okay. I like these changes because it just, I mean, guys, honestly, like you run offensive cards and tank characters. Now they're making tank characters actually focus on tanking, I think, is kind of maybe their idea. And even stuff like this help out like Cell or characters that are like weaker tanks. The cooldown decreased for Ride, which is like Tau Pai Pai they're about to give out, and I guess you could say it's a Tau Pai Pai buff before he releases. But Icarus, 60 to 45 seconds. The movement speed up effect for the zone increased from 35 to 50%. They nerfed Meteor Hammer. Good. Good. I knew it did less damage. I was in call with Dubai Lubu 67 Cherry. And I was like, I swear I'm seeing less damage. I knew they nerfed Meteor Hammer, man. I knew it, bro. And they nerfed this. Well, because one, it's still pretty good, but two, skill 2 damage up. Really, really nice, honestly, that they nerf Super Saiyan Goku again, just because skill 2 damage up exists, and this is still a really good move. I think that helps out. Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku. So again, first hit damage decrease, as we saw. I did show that in a video earlier. I think it is definitely a nice, like, what's it called? How do I explain it? This is a nice debuff, I guess you could say. Like, it's a nice nerf. Damage to follow-up attacks were increased, but I don't think it's like the biggest deal of all time. Instant transmission Kamehameha. It was decreased. Oh, I see. Okay. I think this is stupid. Like, this should just be what this is. Like, IT Kamehameha. Like, yes, you use 2 skills. IT Kamehameha should have been the one that's more nerfed. Like, if anything, these should be switched. I think they're just like, they're like thinking about, oh, you use 2 skills. No, you snipe an opponent. You come into a 2v2 and then you make it a 3v2 instantly. Like, I think that's what they have to think about. You get rid of any penalties that you have with skill 1 by itself. This is still good, of course, but I think instant transmission needs an extra nerf. The destination moved further from target. The beam covers the entire screen, man. I don't think it's that big of a deal. like it's not like, oh, I'm 1.5 meters farther from the target. The Kamehameha covers the entire screen. It doesn't. I don't think that changes anything. The cooldown needs to be increased. So with Cooler, his armor and base HP were both decreased. I think that is in tandem with the buffs to the green defensive cards. Immune to all duration was also decreased. No, they're increased. Oh. 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 Wait, that's pretty good. Yeah, okay, you get less health, but you're literally invincible. Like you have less health, but you have iframes more often. That's probably fair, especially with the defense cards. Skill 1 and skill 2 increase it in terms of so skill 1 and skill 2, the cooldown was increased, but skill 2's effect duration was also increased. I mean, Cooler's he's still gonna be really good, of course, but I mean, they gave him compensation. I mean, could you argue he's better? could you argue with the defense cards, the Kaba buff, the extra iframe time? Is he better? Like, is he net gaining from this? He might be. Because the iframes are the most, like, disgusting thing about this character. On top of his ultimate, which wasn't touched, and the effect duration of Death Stopper has increased, which is his big purple AoE field. Even though it has a higher cooldown, I don't think a 2-second cooldown is gonna stop anything, especially if you use this in tandem with an ultimate. Okay, yeah. Khalifa nerfs also weren't really too much. I mean, we'll take it. Any nerfs are useful. Skill 2, the speed decrease for the projectile. The cooldown increased from 6 to 7 seconds. Then skill 3 has a more 0.8 seconds to 1.5 seconds was the duration, and then the cooldown was increased. So again, it feels like really they're focusing on this character taking more hits and all. It's fun, kind of funny to say this, but it seems like they're focusing on just taking away from the damage. Khalifa's issues that provoke is still too strong though. Provoke needs to last longer. That's pretty much it, because provoke is now I think it's like 6 seconds. So you have like a second, like without provoke after she applies it, but then she can use her ultimate in team fights. So Frieza got a nerf. I don't know why. I think Frieza was fine, honestly. Like, shortened cooldown via canceling skill 3 input for 46 seconds. It's not like a, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't think it was needed. Gotenks nerf. I also don't really think it was needed, especially since it's just like nothing anyways. Especially like okay. The other thing I would say is Hit Kid Gohan are untouched. Hit and Kid Gohan are untouched. That's not good. Why? Why is Hit the same? There better be a patch next week, or else I will be crying, because they're not gonna have a P. They said there won't be a patch in the first 2 weeks of December. That means earliest, like 16th of December, will be the next patch. Next week, nerf Hit, nerf what's his face, Kid Gohan, buff Krillin, buff Super buff God of Destruction Topo, and the nerf Super Saiyan 3 again. That's what I want to see. And adjust the blue ones, the divine combos for sure. Goku Mini got a damage decrease. It is very small. It's like nothing crazy. Also, what's his face got nerfed? Metallic. They took away the meat buns, and then they nerfed him even more, which I think is fair. This is actually, funny enough, this is an indirect Super Saiyan 3 Goku nerf, which is actually really funny. But yeah, because you used to use Metallic to break down the walls to have your Kamehameha shoot through it, like at a higher level. Now doesn't really matter. So 18, instead of having 1, 2 to 3 destructor discs, he has 2 across the entire fight. I think that is, I mean, I don't like that, because 18 was good early game. She struggles late game is what I've heard. So if anything, it's nice for her to get this early on, but losing the 3rd destructor disc, it does hurt her late game, which she already was not really as effective in compared to other characters. Seems like Vegeta's armor, just in general, and okay, so yeah, his armor and HP were just buffed. I mean, this is just a buff. Like, I don't know why it's just an adjustment. This is a buff. Vegeta's stronger earlier in the fight, but it's only earlier in the fight. I guess that's why they don't call it a buff. I like that though. Vegeta's tankier earlier on, helps combat against what's his face, Dabura existing. So I think Cooler has more iframes. Caulifla kind of was untouched, honestly, with Provoke. Provoke was like the same. Vegeta got more health. Defense cards are up. I don't think it's as bad as pertains as we thought, as we were thinking. And then Gekishin burst system, including to correctly increase damage based on hero level duration. So we have to test this. This has to be tested. Let me tweet this. Apparently, Gekishin burst was adjusted. No idea how, but we'll see, I guess. LOL, I'm tweeting that. Okay. So, skill 3 fixing issues where enemies would receive unintended damage when knocked to a wall. Oh. Well, I guess that's a thing. That's funny. Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla. The skill's AoE would not follow the user's hero correctly when being moved by effects such as force movement. Okay. Oh, this is funny. This is funny too. These are just like bugs. Let's see. Fix an issue when we're using a boost attack under the effects of finisher chance to receive that as a triple boss KO. Players were able to KO heroes who had enough HP to... Oh. That's actually really funny. Okay. That's actually so funny. Adjustments. All adjustments use text in general. Divine combo cards preset, which is really good. We already talked about that. So, I mean, that's everything. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I mean, honestly, even though Cooler and Caulifla got nerfed, doesn't really seem like it was too bad for them. Like, especially with the defense cards buffs. I think they're still going to be really good. Vegeta got buffed as well. Yeah, Cell doesn't get buffed. I think really what's missing is Oob needs extra. They should nerf Daima Goku and Super Saiyan 3 a bit more. Topo needs a buff. Hit needs a nerf. Like, there's still a couple of characters. Please give us a patch next week. Please, Gekishin Squadra. I'm gonna crash out. But okay. Thanks y'all for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.